We have a house in what's called Bay-O-Vista, the hill area, San Leandro. When we were buying our house, my husband and I were the kind of people who would actually read the documents before we signed and initialed the big stack of documents. And one of those documents brought us up short, and it was the one that described the restrictions that were on the neighborhood and the house that we were buying. And among the tree height and, don't park commercial vehicles in front of your house and that sort of thing, was something that said we were not to sell the house to anyone that was of a different cultural group, to facilitate neighborhood friendships and fraternization. And we're like, what does that mean? It sounds like you're trying to exclude people, and we don't want to sign that document. And our realtor told us that we had to sign the document because it was part of the deed to the house, but that it was unenforceable because the fair housing law had already passed. And so we reluctantly, under protest, signed it. But then when I went to the neighborhood association meeting after asking about recycling, I said, is anybody else disturbed by these documents that are part of our home ownership here? And several people were, and we got together and talked about what was the process for getting that piece of language out of our documents. And we found out over time, talking with the recorder's office and all, that the rules of the 90s were that you had to have a vote of all the people in each tract where the documents said the same thing. And if 60% of the people voted in favor of getting rid of that language, it would pass as being, the recorder could redact it. And it turned out that I think one of the things that was problematic was we only identified 11 tracts in our area, and the neighborhood association included a question on the voting that was a question to give them more power in resolving neighborhood disputes and raising the annual dues, which are still only $20 a year. And many people, it turns out, were unhappy with the neighborhood association anyway, so they voted no on both items. And so out of the 11 tracts, only 2 voted to get rid of that language, and I think they got theirs done right away then, but the rest of us still had to live with it.